Hi, what is up, you guys? It's your girl Sandra. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Sandra Said What. If you are a new viewer, welcome. Be sure to give us a subscribe, or you can wait to see did she earn the subscription and then still subscribe. Okay. And yeah, if you're a returning day one of mine, again, thank you for continuing to support the channel. So I just wanted to jump on here very quickly real quickly and talk to you guys about something that I saw in a video. Last night, I was actually live around midnight. And I was talking about something kind of similar, but not the exact same thing. If you the way that YouTube works, they like recency because I went live so late. Not too many people are seeing the video. So once you're done with this, maybe you can check it out, help me get back into the algorithm. I would really appreciate it. So the topic that I want to talk to you about, as you can tell by the title, is Ashanti becoming a 40-year-old baby mama, a term that I despise. Let me just say it. I really don't like that term, okay? So let me just give you guys a little bit of background, and then we're gonna get into the topic. So Ashanti is a popular singer. She was coming up back in the 2000s with Ja Rule and the M Inc. I don't want to say the word here label, and she was in a relationship with Nelly, I believe, for a while, right? And then they broke up, and they seem to have recently rekindled their relationship. Now Ashanti is 43 years old, right? But Ashanti, although she is an American artist, singer, her body is banging. Let me show you Ashanti body because Ashanti is not playing with y'all. Ashanti's body is sickening. Okay, let me just see. I gotta remember how to share here. Okay, here we go. Here, this is Ashanti, right? So this is the gorgeous. She is a beautiful woman. Her body is sickening. This is her with Nelly, a beautiful young woman. Well, she is of mature age, 40 years old, but she doesn't look like it. She's eating everybody up. She is always traveling, despite the fact that she doesn't tour as much in the US. And I'm not sure if she still tours here, but I know she is still extremely popular outside of the US. She's always on vacation. She's body goals, and this is her and Nelly, who have recently rekindled their relationship. Okay, now that we've seen who Ashanti is, let's get back to it. So I was watching a video, and the person was basically essentially saying Ashanti is about to become a 40-year-old baby mama, and it's a shame that, at 40 years old, she's not aiming for marriage. At 40 years old, basically, she's going to be the stereotype of Black women in America. I will always say this when I talk to subjects, right? And like on specific subjects, because I do live in America. I'm talking about American culture because America is not the world the way things operate here. Although it might seem like it's Bible, that's the word, that's how it's said. America is not the world. Things are not the same in different countries as they are in the United States of America. Okay, so Ashanti, yeah, that brings me to the point of the topic that I want to talk about, that I talked a bit about last night. I am really annoyed at the fact that it seems in America, oh, there's a fly here. Please forgive me. It seems that Black people are always having to carry the burden of being the villain. We're always so vilified in this country because America is such a segregated country and everything is by race. And for some reason, it always seems that even within quote unquote Black community in America, it seems that Black people are always the villains. We can't win for losing, basically. I myself, I absolutely hate the term baby mama. I cannot stand that term for so many reasons. It seems that Black women are always pushed to get married. Let me give you a disclaimer. I am Haitian born, right? In our culture, most people do get married. Do everybody get married? No. Do everybody have children? No. But, and do everybody have children within wedlock? Absolutely not. And when someone in Haitian culture does not get married and have a child, you are not, that term baby mama as a concept, it doesn't even exist. Yes, that's the mother of someone's child. You can refer to someone as the mother of someone's child, but the term baby mama is used as a derogatory term, predominantly geared towards Black women in America to shame Black women into marriage. Not everyone wants to get married. Marriage is not for everyone. And honestly, this whole epidemic of Black, quote unquote, Black women, but it's not just Black women who don't want to get married. Women for a lot of different cultures don't want to get married, right? But even the idea of getting married or not getting married is a cultural thing. Again, I'm Haitian born. It's a cultural thing for people to get married by age 24, 25, 26, 27. People are getting married, right? Even when people are stepping out of their marriages, doing crazy things, it's just part of the culture. But because in American culture, marriage and divorce is such an easy thing, a lot of people choose not to get married. The reason why some people get married in America, and I know the quote unquote statistics do show that Black women are less likely to get married, yada, yada, yada. But this is more of a cultural issue, right? A cultural concept. A lot of people get married in America because why? Financial security. A lot of people get married outside of America because why? Financial security. So when you live in a country like America where financially you're able to take care of yourself and provide for yourself, there isn't really a quote unquote need to get married, because financially what that person was going to provide, they really are not needed for. A lot of outside countries, the commerce system, the economy is not stable enough. That's just the truth of it, for people to be single, right? Let me preface this video by saying, me myself, I would eat an entire bus tire before I become a single mother, right? There's so many different reasons why I never, okay, wanted to be a single mother. Even when I was young and dumb, I always knew two things for certain, three things for sure. One, I never want to become a single mother. Two, I never will stay with anyone who put their hands on me. Those convictions, I am standing by them for my own personal reasons, right? So I just heard a noise out there. So yeah, for me personally, I do not want to become a single mom because there are so many risks in having children, right? You can literally pass from having children, right? And again, the financial burdens of having children and the risk to my life, I don't feel is worth having children with a man who does not appreciate me or value me enough to have their child. I would never have kids with a man who does not see value in me enough to marry me, right? And does that mean everybody who get married value their partner? No. That's why there is a time for vetting this person. There is a time for dating this person. And if I don't see the sign of this person truly valuing me as a human being first, do you think I'm going to put my life at risk to have a child by this person and have a permanent, forever connection with this person? Absolutely not. For me. That is my conviction. I don't want to become a single mom for so many different reasons. And I always had it in my mind that if I get to an age that I decide that, okay, I want to have a child, which is why I'm working on being financially stable enough that if I have a child by myself, I can provide for such a child, right? So if I'm going to choose to go that route of having a child, that's going to be my decision only. And I do not ever try to force my ideologies on other people. Okay. So for me, I know that's not something I want because, again, people do get married all the time. They disrespect their wives, they abuse their wives. Let's look at what's happening with Shirley Strawberry and Ernest Williams, right? Just an example. There are many men who abuse their wives. We don't know that he physically abused Shirley, but he certainly emotionally and financially abused her. There are plenty of men here who get married and don't value marriage, but people try to force other people, to get married just for the sake of saying that I'm married, I have a husband. No, that is not a reason to get married. And most men are looking for wives to be their caretakers. They're not looking for an equal partnership. Let me just say this also. I don't want my channel to become black women versus white women, versus black men type of channel. Okay. I am an educated woman. I know the facts. Okay. I spent a great deal of money to the American education system to be educated on certain subjects. And I know just going to school does not make you educated, but me myself, I know a lot more than the average person because of my background. Okay. So I'm just going to say that here, right? But I know for myself that I don't want to just be someone's baby's mom because of the fact that the main reason is being permanently linked to someone who does not value you. There's the channel, Janice Hilton, right? She gives you tough love. I don't always agree with everything she says, but she always says the man you marry will determine the rest of your life. That's what's happening to Shirley Strawberry right now. She married a man who had a criminal record, right? In and out of prison for financial frauds. And eventually, she became a part of his scam. And her life at 70 years old is in turmoil. The man you marry determine the rest of your life. And I believe the same thing is true for the man you have children with. You are permanently connecting yourself to someone who does not see fit, who it and I don't I know it's difficult. I always try to see both sides of things. It is difficult I think also it's cultural. That's the one of the main points I want people to understand. Getting married and not getting married is very cultural. In my culture, it is a thing to get married, but also there isn't a shaming of women who have children without getting married. I In Haitian culture, we are a very conservative culture, but still we're very understanding. But it seems that in America, the vilifying of Black womanhood is so prominent that you cannot get away with it. I want my channel to be about more than one topic. I don't just want to talk about anti-Blackness. I don't just want to talk about Black issues. I am an entire human being. I have a lot, I'm multifaceted, let's put it that way, right? I have a degree, I have 2 degrees in healthcare. I have a business. I am a content creator. There's so much I have to offer as a person. And because thankfully I was raised out of a culture that is not so segregated by race, that it's not ingrained in me to have certain beliefs. Even if you guys don't realize it, if you are born in America, there is certain beliefs that's ingrained within you without you even realizing. Even if you seek out outside information. A lot of Americans are now learning about the facts of what's really going on in outside countries, and that's good. But still, you will always see it. You are going to see it from the American perspective. And that's one thing I realized. So I went back to Haiti, right? And I realized that there's a point I came to realize that I went back to my own country and I was judging people with an American mindset, and I had to snap out of it. I realized even though I was only in America for a decade, well, that's a long time, but still, I was born and raised in this culture. I don't agree with everything about Haitian culture, right? But I still, despite the fact that I had been in America for a short time, to me at least, it was still ingrained in me to think like an American, so much so. But because I had prior education, I was able to snap out of it, right? And that's another thing. People want to push people to get married. One of the people people will justify the reason for Black women getting married as, oh, you need to be financially stable to take care of a child in America. I 1000% agree. I would never ever in my entire life encourage anyone to have children when you cannot provide for them. If that's what you want, that is what you want. I'm not going to judge you. If we had a choice on choosing who were allowed to have children, I probably wouldn't be here, right? Based on what the other people that are not my kinfolk have thought about my people, right? I probably wouldn't be here. But we don't have I because I have a certain mentality. I have hello. Because I have a certain mentality. I don't subscribe to a lot of the I don't subscribe to a lot of the ideologies of the American people. Okay. So yeah, people would say the reason why you should be financially stable. Yes, me myself, I don't want to struggle. That's one of the reasons why I want to, if I have children, I want to have children with a man that I know is going wants the best for me, and you will see that reflected in their action. Does that mean you have to marry someone just for money? No, because someone can have money and not care about you, right? Even if they allow you access to some of their money, they won't make sure that you're financially secure for today, tomorrow, and whenever else. But um, I myself, like I was saying, would not want to put myself in a situation where I have to be financially strained, because this system, whether we like it or not, operates in money. Yes, money make the world go round, but in America predominantly, it's even harder to raise children if you don't have money. So that's what, for me, I don't want it. With all that being said, the fact that Ashanti is choosing to have a child, first of all, it hasn't even been confirmed whether or not she's pregnant. Let's start there. Secondly, even if she chose to have a child out of wedlock, I think there are a lot more pressing issues on why. I personally, Sandra, me myself, okay. I personally think, there's a lot bigger issues to address as far as Nelly's history, okay, actual assault history, and Ashanti and her father and whatever. There was a whole story about it on YouTube. Maybe it's still on there if you look it up. I think those are bigger issues. But for me to try to force people to subscribe or ascribe to an idea that they don't want to is mind boggling. And then we try to push it towards Black women only. And a lot of these pages that are supposed to be pro Black are actually extremely anti Black, right? Because if you're a Black woman and you choose not to wear your natural hair, then that's a problem. If you choose to wear makeup, then that's a problem. And when there are history behind that, and the fact that if a Black woman wants to wear her hair a certain way, that's her prerogative. That doesn't make her any less Black. I don't judge people. The way I judge people is by their mentality, their behavior, and their and their decisions. That's how I judge people. So nobody wants black people to be themselves. And when the reality is, they're not really mad at black women. They're mad at the system because their idea is, oh, you don't have enough money. Most black women are single mothers and struggle. And that's another sad thing. I really hate it when black women, not black women. I really hate the way society try to make it seem like black, okay, for example, you have those children who are raised by single mothers. They go on podcasts and blast their moms. I think there is that, again, is also another part of American culture where kids are very ungrateful. Now, I know Asian culture have their issues, and one day we'll talk about them whenever that comes, okay? But particularly the way these kids are so ungrateful. You mean to raise a child with, by yourself in America, it's a huge responsibility. And that's why I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it more than just financially, the physicality of it. I don't want to do it. Right. But you have children who have women who have sacrificed their lives for them, gotten 2, 3, 4 jobs to take care of them, and then just to grow up and going on podcasts and blast their mothers. Single mothers are the problem. That's the difference between Haitian culture and American culture. If a Haitian child would be so grateful that their mother actually sacrificed so much for them, not go on the radio or get a podcast, a microphone, and start talking how single parents are the problem. Why didn't you go with your father? Go with your father then. You should have gone with your father. So, they don't want black women to this. They don't want black women to that. We should this. We should be modest. We shouldn't wear this. We shouldn't have that. But then again, they still treat all of us the same way. That's the gag for me. That's the big deal for me. They still treat us the same way. And if it's about financial security, like y'all say, Ashanti is a millionaire. I looked at her net worth online. Of course, everything on Google is not verified. There were different reports, but for the most part, Ashanti is a confirmed millionaire. So if it's about the finances, she has the money. But if we want to talk about, I think we should be more concerned about the type of person that's going to raise a child. Then they say, oh, it's about having 2-parent household, blah, blah, blah. Do y'all see what these men are doing online? Having their own children actually abused, and thinking it's a badge of honor. Do you see how these men, not just men, but I'm talking specifically on this topic about men, right? It's necessary to have a 2-parent household, right? But then y'all don't have, I'm not even going to say that. Okay. If it's about having a 2-parent household, these men are the very men who teach their children these toxic behaviors. These men are the very men who try to discipline their kids and film it and put it on social media just to embarrass them. Just like that one guy, he was literally choking his own daughter to the point where people called CPS on him on social media, on live, I believe, on live. And then, people are saying it's about having 2 parents. These parents, a lot of them are trifling. They're not qualified to be parents in the first place. A lot of them are bullies and abusers to their own children. And because a lot of men know what they've done out there, they try to bully their daughters. They don't even know their daughters. First of all, they don't raise their children, right? They don't have conversations with them from the time they're small to the time they're growing up. They don't instill in them, because they don't even have the devices and tools to be able to instill those things on them, right? But then when their children are growing up and starting to show, interest in the opposite sex or maybe the same sex, right? They try to bully their own children. That's what they do. They try to bully their children, slut shame them, and act like they're better than thou, because they know what they're out here doing, and they don't want their children to be victims to the same behaviors that they were out here exhibiting. That's another thing I have a problem with, is when men are saying, "Oh, my daughter makes me want to be better. I want to treat women better." Why couldn't you just be a good person for the sake of being a good person? And people don't change overnight. Just because you have a child now, that's not going to change your mindset or your behavior. So, when you take a look at men who are being accused of sexual assault, like Diddy, he has his sons around. He's very active in his son's life, is he not? But then when he went on the Ellen show and they were telling him that his daughters potentially were, being interested in boys, he didn't seem too happy about that. And then when you have like people like Ernest Williams, right, who was supposed to be active in his daughter's life, and his daughter is now telling him, as an older man, I know y'all don't like that I call him 60, the man is 59 years old. Okay, 59, 60, 56, 60, same thing, right? And his daughter is telling him, I want to have a closer relationship with him, a loving adult relationship with my father. And he's like, I'm too old for this. These are the kind of men that raise children. So I think the issue, again, is a systemic issue. And that's who you need to be mad at. But Black women on the everyday basis are always taking the brunt of it, are always, being talked down upon and being disrespected and all of that. So for me, I think the whole rhetoric, like I was talking about yesterday, the whole rhetoric about Black people don't support Black people, I'm so sick of the Black this, Black that conversation. I just want to get away from it. I want to get away from it. A lot of men, they're strangers to their own children. And when they get around their children, they try to instill in their children things that the children don't even care about, because these children, they don't know you, sir. You're a stranger. You're a stranger. Okay. So for me, it's like I try not to get into these topics, but I understand the importance of having these conversations. And because of my background, it's hard for me to ignore it, because also I'm on social media, right? I see these things, going by just like all of y'all do. So for me, it's like y'all want women to marry men just for the sake of marrying. It doesn't matter if the man is abusive. It doesn't matter if the man is disrespectful. It doesn't matter if the man is this or that. I think the greater problem is more Americans are not getting married, right? When you factor in racism, colorism, anti-Blackness, that becomes another problem. And contrary to popular belief, Black women actually do marry Black men. Most Black people are married to other Black people, right? First is Black people don't marry Black people, or Black people are the only group that does. Have you been around other groups to see how they operate? Do you know the ins and outs of being part of different groups? Because living in Haiti, Haiti has, I think being Haitian is the greatest thing ever, because I have proximity to so many different cultures. I have proximity to Caribbean culture. I have proximity to quote unquote Black culture. I have proximity to Latin culture, right? Because of where we're situated. I have proximity to, French culture and Canadian culture, because of the fact that, when you speak French, you can see their movies, listen to their music, and have a little bit of an idea of the way they work, right? So, and I'm not going to say for every culture, but I don't know if this quote unquote baby mama stuff is only an American conversation. And that's what makes it so toxic. It's the fact that people can't even be happy that someone is having a child. And the fact that, because if you see a Black woman going to the doctor's office and she's pregnant, she's not accompanied by a man, automatically she must be single. Automatically she must be a baby mama. But you guys don't have the same reservations for non-Black women. And when y'all do see that in non-Black women, they get a pass. Being Black woman here is, in America, It's so frustrating. Please help me get out by subscribing to this video so I can get into the algorithm, so I can get monetizing, get the heck on out of here. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I so appreciate your time, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.